Hello and welcome everybody to the Millennial Kickback. I'm your host Sir Kappa, and I'm here today joined by my friend Zhao Yun.
How you know, you guys?
Arc Evo is just around the corner, and what that means, Guilty Gear is coming out very soon, and BlazBlue Cross Tag is getting a new patch, November 21st to the 26th.
Believe me, we so gonna go into Arc Evo because we live in California, so yeah, why not?
And not to mention, this actually pertains to our interest in Arc System, so this is going to be a very Arc System-esque podcast.
As a long-time Arc System World fan, I think I obligate to do the podcast.
There is an obligation. I feel like you would be really well versed on this. Now we go into one of the biggest gripes for any player who plays BB Tag, and that's the character select screen.
That shit was atrocious, man. Coefficient mentioned that he was told specifically that was a placeholder. Lo and behold, it's in the main game. Why was that? We get from Guilty Gear to Calamity Trigger to Central Fiction, and it was gorgeous, with highly stylized font and design of the character selection that showed every character on screen.
And then you had, like, if you were playing co-op or online, you had two individual cursors. Like, if you had mouse cursors, and you can move them around, pick any character you wanted, and it still kept the art design on the corner of the screens. That was fine. But what I don't understand is that why in BB Tag did they change it into different shelves? Here's the thing that's the biggest issue. Because there's new characters coming in. There's too many shelves for characters to have, and then all the characters that are in the game, like the new DLC characters, they're going under a miscellaneous tab that has all the characters. It looks so dumb. And not to mention, yes, it's organized by series, but when you get to the miscellaneous, they're just jumbled in there like randomly.
What the hell with the etc. tab? What the hell was that? It used to be just a button, then you just bring up like the control, the option menu. That's all you need to do. Why the fuck that shit was in the character selection?
It could have just been kept on the bottom of the screen.
Guilty Gear did that shit.
Tekken does that.
Dragon Ball FighterZ did that shit. Mortal Kombat, that game still did that shit.
I think even Chaos Code probably did that, as far as I remember. And we can't blame Arc System for this. I think, well, the most part, it was all Team Blue.
Please fix the UI. Also, adding arcade mode. Also, adding some meaningful story mode.
Overall, the character select screen, though it isn't the ugliest in the world, it's the most time-consuming to use because unless you have a preset, you have to scroll through pages upon pages within shelves to get to the characters. Not to mention, it looks very ugly when the shelves are kind of empty. In the Ruby tab, there's only 4 characters, and the rest of it is just empty.
Just show all the characters. Hey, look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Look at that shit. How many characters in that shit again?
Like almost 40 characters?
More than that, dude. Like, oh my god. If they can do that, why not you guys can do that? Man, even the fan can do that shit better.
If you would have talked to us and told us that, yeah, there was probably a budget cut, I get it. Fighting games don't have the biggest budgets. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Back in the day, that when BB Tech came out, like, they don't have much budget compared to FighterZ. But after FighterZ blew up in the globally, you guys have no more excuse because all the money right now you have enough money to do Grand Blue versus. Okay, new Guilty Gear, man, those are really big name, and then your ass got like enough money to buy a Double Dragon and then River City IP. So I don't think you guys short on money yet.
Instead of just crapping on the integrity of BlazBlue the entire time, I think one of the best things we should do is recognize the good that BlazBlue Cross Tag has, and the biggest thing that, especially for someone like me who doesn't play conventional fighting games all the time, is that auto combo is one of the best tools for new players to come in. Yes, for veterans, it can be kind of annoying, and in a way, it just makes it feel like the integrity of fighting games is kind of withering away. But when you think about it, it's the main thing you got to do is market your game, and overall, numbers do count.
But I also give them credit for that they simplify some of the mechanic from the old BlazBlue game or from Persona game that I had pride with back in the day, because like in order to do some stuff in BlazBlue and Persona 4 just for 40% damage took so much work because like they have so many command normal, so many really janky mechanics. For example, Hakumen and Susano. Hakumen and Susano has one of the worst,
the most strict actually.
Because like it doesn't have a quick mobility, And for those fans, you have to spend meter or unlock special in order to do just a regular special.
Basically, you have limiters. Hakumen, it's a meter gain, and he has little orbs that basically determine how much meter he has.
So the special, it's like, for example, like his overhead from to low hit took 3 bars. That shit is insane because you want to save that for a reversal or for a rapid cancel, or because when you start up a match with Hakumen in Blaze 2, especially Central Fiction, you have to expect you get your ass getting bullied before you get a meter. I appreciate that in BB Tech, Hakumen no longer got restricted to the meter special. Instead, the only thing that took meter away from him is special into special, and it's understandable.
Basically, his special moves have a 1-bar cancel, which is fair because that's his gimmick in BlazBlue.
Granted, in BlazBlue he got more option, more movement, and more normals, but the thing that bugging me that in order to do a special, you still need a meter, and it's very based on the special, because some special only cost 1 bar, some special cost 2 bar, some special cost freaking 3 bar, almost a super, and I'm not happy with that.
Hakumen and Susanoo, they took the restrictions off, which makes them terrifying characters, but all in all, you have a whole roster to deal with that, so it's not like the game is broken in that aspect.
Look at you, Ruby, Yuzu.
Oh, Yuzu's, I feel bad for my wife, she's gonna be dead in the water.
Mitsuru too. Mitsuru. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Akihiko. Maybe your rank champion's still there, but I don't know. From what I heard from the demo tester, they're gonna nerf your ass to Akihiko.
Just to finish off the first point of the second point of how good the game is, it's also one of those things where the game has very universal mechanics. So for new players coming in, you have a get off me tool. You have 2 different defensive tools. You have a get off me tool in DP, and then you also have a burst, which basically it's like the incoming from Marvel, but you have to spend like a whole team meter just to get them in. You can bait it, but it's still there.
Sometimes you just want to do a combo, but that guy doesn't let you immediately, and then the requirement for it is way too linear. Instead of using the meter, they are using the tag team bar, which recover way too quick. Because back in the day, bursting, you have to wait for at least the entire round in order to use it again. But practically in this game, you have it at all time.
That could go under the bad, but in terms of like good still, if you want to get into a game, this is a very good game to pick up. With these universal mechanics, every character has the same motion for supers. They have different supers, but everybody has different types of supers that are universal. There's cross burst, which basically allows you to control 2 characters at the same time and deal damage to the one character being sandwiched.
One more thing is that the game still have some mechanic that reward the high level player too, like cross burst, like classic input from for Tiger and Wallenstein, because if you do the 360 motion for Tiger and Wallenstein, you have extra damage. That's just a tiny bit, but I appreciate that they can still appreciate the high level player to be able to do something that the low level player like us that cannot basically replicate.
Yeah, it pertains to 2 different audiences, the veterans and then the new players, and which is really good because nobody really gave it enough credit.
I'm a big fan of Koji Ko, and then some of the stuff he did on tournament was like, swear to God, I cannot do something like he did.
All right, now moving on to the bad, and we're going to start with DP. The fact that a lot of people are upset because DP initially was double forward motion, and then you pressed 1 button or 2, but that's not the biggest issue why it's upsetting, because you can actually DP with 1 or 2 buttons. If you have a shoulder button, it's 1. If you have to do it regularly, it's 2 buttons. But that's not the biggest issue why DP is a problem. It's the fact that there are characters like my favorite, like my mains. There's Yuzuriha, there's Mitsuru, then there's also like before it used to be Gordeau, before his nerf, and then there's just characters who have very good DPs, which is not an issue, but it's the fact that these characters have very viable DPs, and then there's characters whose DPs are very bad, like for instance Yosuke.
I don't know what the time frame for the character, because like for example Hakumen DP is understandable, it starts with a frame 1, but why the hell Yosuke is activate in the middle frame? I don't understand.
It's also Yosuke's like the defense for it is like, oh, the recovery is not that bad compared to other ones. If anything, it's the fastest recovery. But it's so weird because like the hit, like you don't know when it's gonna hit, and not to mention like if I was playing Yosuke and my DP didn't work on frame 1, that would piss me off because then it's like, not to mention you can just wait it out. It's good that it's punishable, but every character to some extent should have a DP that works well for them. Like Orie's is like, it's weird, but it's a nice DP for her because it's very much well an anti-air.
But some of the DP that bugging me was Yuzuriha because like the way to block that DP is that if you're close, you have to block the opposite. If you're in the middle section, it's okay. When you're close, you have to block the opposite. That's why that DP is so overpowered.
Fair enough. I think it was kind of annoying playing as a Yuzuriha main as well, even though I didn't necessarily like fancy her at the beginning. But Yuzuriha, her DP, it somewhat has a startup, which you can kind of bait out. But at the very same time, the one thing that kind of annoyed me, but I think is fair now looking at it objectively, is that Hakumen is the only person who could like really counter the DP because her DP is counted as a projectile in his eyes for some reason.
Also, something bugging me was that another thing bugging me was that the auto combo. Some auto combo was really good, but some auto combo was like remember some of the good option for Ragnar and Noel Bury inside the auto combo.
Usually you think that the best moves are like in the special inputs. No, they're not anywhere near them. They're all in the auto combo, which is very unfair for characters like that. It almost it's not like that crazy when compared to Dragon Ball Fighters, but it's still bad enough to where it's still an issue for these characters.
Especially, for example, like all the brawler except for Akihiko because he got some nasty shit that he can get through that. But the other brawler, for example, like Makoto, let's see, Makoto and
Heart Aino.
Oh, she got some nasty shit armor, but then some character could just kill her on the spot.
Not to mention, like, her projectile. What's the purpose of it? It's practically only viable during cross burst. But that's not even the best. That's not even the worst part. You have all this roster. I get it. It's cool. You get to play with a nice, really big roster. But the biggest issue with that roster is that the game, for some reason, has always pertained to range characters.
Mid-range character, set play character, and long-range character.
Yeah, brawlers just can't catch a break. And with each new patch, there's like, for every one brawler, there's 3 or 4 new range characters.
But there's some exception for range stuff. For example, looking at you, Yukiko. There's no reason to play you right now. Yukiko also like some really complicated character. Like Rachel got underused compared to Nai. Nai is complicated, but then her stuff very effective and immediately. But then Rachel, you have to work for it because she got really janky normal.
Not to mention, the biggest issue that we have overall that can be improved is the hitboxes. Hitboxes are so stupid in this game. Carnage Scissors, like, for all intents and purposes, is practically a DP, a defensive option, and all this other crazy shit.
As a classics playthrough, damn. Carnage Scissors sometimes hit you like a super jump. Sometimes it hit me when I was way down. And that was actually when I found, I guess, Unlimited Ragnar in Call of Duty Trigger. It was like, that hitbox still there in Central Friction for some reason.
Now, Waldstein, he's a ranged character. Yeah, he's gonna have a big ass hitbox. But you can't convert off some of it for some reason because his range got nerfed. Fair enough. But it's like, it's so deceptively small that you can't even tell.
Oh, that remind me that some of his reverse beat loop is extremely strict. For example, like his jump, hit 2C into 5BB. You can do that 6 times, but the timing is really strict. It's, despite him being a unique character, that he can reverse beat.
In this game, dropping conversion off of combos, the game is not too strict, but it can be quite a bitch when it tells you, oh, this is an Unreal combo. Like, it does it too often. Especially if you play as Hakumen, does it way too often. Seth players also have that issue. Mm-hmm. Like, there's too much of a strict window when trying to convert off of that.
Or they got put a combo limiter on each combo. So, practically, like, in BlazBlue Cross Tag, they actually put a combo limiter in there. So, like, you have to laugh for a long time to find out which one is not exceeds the combo limiter but can still do good damage. That's one thing that I don't like about the game as well.
And the final thing that makes this game like really unplayable sometimes is the fact that all characters, for all intents and purposes, should be playable, and still you should be able to win with them. But in this game, it just feels like sometimes
some characters unfair. Yukiko, Kanji, Makoto, yeah, they can work their ass off to actually get some win or two. But then when they face against a freaking like Yuzu, Tiger counter a lot of stuff from the character. Like S on Auto Brawler doesn't want to be near him at all.
Nobody wants to be near Taker, and Taker is not even the best character. If anything, he's like in the middle of the pecking order.
Mid-tier character, one star is actually up there, but then Taker is a mid-tier gatekeeper character. But all the brawler, aside from even Akihiko, doesn't want to be near him.
Reason why is because he can charge a move that armors through everything. Not to mention his grabs do at least 25% damage.
And burst damage, by the way.
And if you do a EX, that's 40%. And then if you do his super, that's around 60%.
Also, let me tell you about anything bad about the game. Like, need to be fixed.
We can go on potential buffs or potential improvements. For instance, Kanji. Kanji has been bullied since day one. His down heavy into DP is fine, but his down heavy is the slowest in the game. And
they somehow give him some reverse speed, but then he's still bad, man.
His conversion off his combos is really bad. It's so slow you won't be able to convert half the time.
His jab even making Hakumen jab look way better. Like his 4A is just like, what the hell are they thinking? And then his 5A would practically like slower than Hakumen.
The guy is a grappler character, but why is it that as a grappler character, he's slower than Waldstein? He's slower than Waldstein in the air. Waldstein is the heaviest character apart from Tager, and the man can jump farther. He's the only heavy character that can jump pretty freaking far.
Also, he got the hop dash in the air too.
His auto combo, like he's a grappler character. Auto combo, maybe you can improve upon that a little bit, but he needs a buff in his grappling because he's a grapple character, and not to mention his movement speed. It's so slow. Like Yukiko's run animation is faster than Kanji's. How?
And then his damage abysmal too.
It got buffed in this patch, but it's still not justifiable. If he's a grappler character, he needs more.
His anti-grab was like, oh my god. Tager.
You're practically asking for Persona Break.
The stall way too long. Even the B version of anti-grab from Tager is way faster.
His lunge should be better, and especially his lunge super, the one where he grabs you, it should have a bigger range. Not full screen, definitely not, but it should definitely be like 40% of the screen at least.
I remember like the meme ass air grab of a Kanji. That actually can be DP. And if I can time with Tager anti-air grab right, I can actually snatch his ass from the sky easily. I was like, what the hell? That move is practically useless.
It's too slow, I think. EX is the only one that's fast.
If you catch that shit, you can just DP.
If you hear the almighty sound, then you know. Yosuke needs a buff. He's gonna get buffed, thankfully, but like the man's auto combo is great. It's the fact that his health is low. The health needs to be improved. Characters like who was another one with low health? Seth. I think he's fine for now.
They should improve all the low health to be at least from 14k to 16k.
Yeah, they need to improve upon the health management. Characters that don't need high health or high damage should be a little lowered. Like for instance, Gordeau's getting his stuff back. He should stay the same. Just give him his hitbox back.
Ruby, please nerf the hell Ruby, because there's no reason why she got the standard hell with all the tools she got, dude.
Kanji should have, as a grappler, especially with someone who has like really effective grabs and stuff like that, his health should be high, and so should his his health should be at least Gordeau level. Grabs, the scaling is way too rough. For
the love of God, just make it a standard grab. Don't make them just lunge toward and then grab. Because some character like Hakumen, Waldstein, Tager, dude, they walk like a freaking turtle until they grab your ass. What's that? No.
For someone who loves playing Hakumen, even though I never really liked him beforehand, I hope for 3 things from Hakumen. Hakumen, for all intents and purposes, his EX counter, make it a lunging elbow. There's no purpose to it other than what you have an extra defensive option sometimes.
I really want to make that That shit, an instant wall bounce elbow with armor. That's all I need to do.
Not to mention, make it so the range is not full screen, but make it so it's like 70%. Because it's like, it covers a small range. If anything, his lunging elbow from his medium move, his medium lunging elbow covers more distance than his counter.
Because like, why the hell Taker got Sparkle with a full combo afterward without spending any meter after that EX? Hakumen has to spend another bar if you want to do combo, or you have to be so strict with your partner assist that to get a meterless combo is just so inconsistent.
The final thing I really hope for in this entire thing, it's probably not going to come, but by God, if they don't improve his DP and counter super effectiveness, I hate the fact that Seth can dive kick as much as he wants on me. I can DP it or counter super. The man is safe. Kanji, if he does you want some, can jump it. Everybody can super jump.
The problem is that you want some actually count as a projectile for some reason. So the thing with Hakumen DP was that if it was a physical hit, then you got freeze frame and got counter hit. But if it was a projectile, then you can still move around.
But here's the thing, that even then, the game is very inconsistent. Like, you can get Seth dive kicking, doesn't hit. You can get someone who does hit, but for some reason the game doesn't count it. And then there are times where, like, characters with supers will go through it. Hyde is one of them. If you do his DP, he's safe. If you do his counter, if you do his, like, wall carry super, the one where he slashes, takes you to the corner, and, like, uppercut slashes you, he's safe. Like, what the hell? Ruby can go through his counter super if she does if she does her projectile, she turns into M. Bison.
Her M. Bison shit is just like so broken. It's like I have to deal with that shit since season 1 and they just still haven't fixed that shit.
Kanji can just DP it.
The only thing that people can actually punish that supers is that somebody had the really full screen quick move. For example, Taker Sparkball can actually punish that. Or you are Batista, you punish her with a laser, then yeah,
that's fair. Like, you should be able to counter moves if they were physical attacks.
She sent her ass way above the freaking other side of the screen. Unless you are in the middle section of the screen. But if you, for example, if you are corner her ass, and then she happened to wake up super that shit, and then go to the other side, and that character doesn't have any long range tool to punish her, that practically like her out of jail card.
It's a full screen super that doesn't have the most effectiveness in the entire game. Even his DP is very punishable, but more often than not, you can pull it off. But there are times, like 6 out of 10, you can do that. But the rest of those 4 times are the most annoying times, because Hakumen's counter, his game is revolved around counters. If they are not improved and people could just exploit them, then there's no point in playing Hakumen.
Or
not playing. There's no use in using those tools. They're practically void.
Or maybe if you want to, we can actually improve Hakumen counter by using some of the BlazBlue mechanic. For example, like if you get a counter, you have a free choice to choose what move come out. For example, like. Back in the day, he got instead of a grab, if you forward counter, you got a punch instead. That stun you. I want that shit to come back because that's practically a combo afterward.
That DP? That is a DP.
That's actually his counter back in the day. But like back in the day, you have to like either low counter, neutral counter, or forward counter. Forward counter can actually have a punch to stun you.
And wall bounce, as far as I remember.
Wall bounce in later game.
That's the only thing that's left with BlazBlue. Everything else, people have already talked about it, and we won't go into too much detail because we've already spent about like half an hour doing so already. Now, on to Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I'm going to let Zhao Yun take this away because he's a very massive Dragon Ball FighterZ. Where I play BlazBlue like the most, he plays Dragon Ball FighterZ the most.
But before that, I just want to ask you what you love about the game, what you hate about the game first, because if I take leave from here and you have no way to talk about your feelings. So
the game itself plays phenomenally. It looks great. Like, Arc System outdid itself again. Like, I never would have thought that we would get to a point where video games, especially fighting games, would look so great and have this 3D element, even though it's still 2D. And this is an outdated engine, by the way. They're using the Unreal Engine. This is something that's been used like way back and is no longer used. They're using this engine and they revolutionized what it is that engine is used. They've practically monopolized like fighting games as a whole for visual representation and gameplay mechanics.
Practically like how you do CGI in anime correctly. Looking at you, Berserk.
The tag team base of the entire game, not to mention it's similar to that of Marvel, but it's not broken. Every character has the same health. So to get Touch of Death is not easy. So it's very good. That's actually like incredible. That's the first time or one of the very few times that I've heard like all characters have the same health. That's actually really good for people who are trying to start out and think, okay, they're not going to die immediately. Good. They have good defense. But with that being said, the one thing I really, really hate about Dragon Ball FighterZ is the fact that you can abuse neutral game. Every good thing about it is in neutral. Like hardly any good moves are in the special inputs. And on top of that, you know how in other fighting games, if you can't do a full combo unless you hit
on hit only.
In this game, for some fucking reason, you can continue the combo when you're not hitting.
That's only for light combo, but some light combo like Vegito. I'm looking at you, motherfucker, GT Goku man over there. Always abuse that fucking combo. Or, for example, like Teen Gohan that can anti-air your ass for no reason. Back in the day, like Majin Buu standing like whiff on crouching. Luckily, they fixed that shit. But also, I'm gonna go into the more on detail about the bad thing for it later. But what about the good thing is, this game came out at the right time when Capcom fucked up. I'm talking about Marvel Infinite, okay? And then that game came out. It just like blew everybody's mind with the visual. So like I was so happy with that. So I tried to play it as much as possible before the real game came out. And then back in the day when, 16 used to be cancer.
Fuck 16 in particular. Like, I saw that.
Remember back when 16...
He used to dunk Goku's like it was basketball.
Oh, remember when he tanked the entire Teen Gohan or Adult Gohan EX leg? Remember that? 30 hit?
It's just funny how Bardock has gone through this long in the life cycle.
They nerfed his ass like 3 or 4 times and he's still good.
They gave him the Dante treatment in Infinite. You can do anything you want. I'm still gonna be good.
I play a game, I'm a Broly man. It's just like, the struggle when I starting out with FighterZ is that I have to learn the combo, and surprisingly the combo is very easy. Unfortunately, I'm using Broly, so the combo is not as conventional as the standard character. For example, like Vegeta, or SSJ Goku, or Bardock to some extent. So like, I'm still learning in that process, and some of the good thing about it is that the combo sometimes super simple. Very simple conversion, and then sometimes it's guaranteed no fuck up in terms of conversion compared to BlazBlue cross tags. Because sometimes conversion in BlazBlue cross tags is really strict, and then you miss that shit.
Especially in trial mode. Especially in this game, trial mode in this game and in BlazBlue cross tag is abysmal. Like the trial mode is outdated. It's no longer you can no longer convert off that.
We're talking good right now. So like the thing is that there's so many crazy shit you can do with like Super Dash, with Vanish, and projectile. And I kind of like how they neutralize Zoner a little bit. Like, hey, Super Dash can actually go inside and do the crazy shit, rush down base gameplay and stuff. And yeah, at first I really love about that. And then the character variety is really fun too. But then
this is where shit hits the fan.
Okay, so the auto combo. Some character auto combo is just why?
Is it really just that good?
Oh, let me talk about the history of Bardock auto combo, will ya? But yeah. Oh, you super jump? Oh, I'm just gonna wear your ass. I don't need my down health rate. I'm just gonna bring your ass down from the sky and start a normal combo. Some character cannot even do that. Only Bardock can have that shit. Oh, by the way, stupid normal from Android 16. I don't know why, but why is so quick?
For a guy that heavy, why are his normals the quickest in the game?
Yeah, also like back in the day when Broly was still nerfed. Was still like the beta phase.
Isn't conversion kind of strict?
His conversion is kind of very unconventional. You have to build a team around him. So the thing that bugging me with Broly the most is that his janky hitbox, and then sometimes he can not easily get a slide knockdown. Broly hardly have that shit unless you end your combo with medium command grab, air command grab. But the problem with that shit is it's switch side. So that's why you need to do some assist to get him across the screen until you meet the corner and end your combo with jump too heavy. At first, not people severely underestimate him. Also, the janky hitbox hit down heavy. Goddamn, we should talk about the down heavy, the history of down heavy in Fighter Z, because some down heavy just ass. Look at you compare Krillin to Goku Black.
It's practically like whose down heavy is better.
Broly is special case. Broly, you see that it's really big, that big shit angle in Vanilla Season 1. Even Krillin can bully Broly. Because that shit miss all the time against small character. Luckily they fixed the hitbox, so character like Kid Buu, Teen Gohan, Krillin, and Gotenks no longer can bully anymore.
I know zoning's kind of dead in the water, but in this game, Broly has the best zoning tool.
Oh yeah, surprisingly, Broly has the best, because in order to disable his Ki Blast, you either have to Super Dash, or when you're trying to clash Ki Blast against him, it took 2 of your regular Ki Blast in order to disable one of his Ki Blasts. For some reason, he got both armor and zoning tool. And Frieza player, I know you guys hate Broly the whole lot because of that shit. Because your specialty is zoning. But then here comes that motherfucker who got way better Ki Blast than you, and then he can just armor through your ass all day.
I can sort of see why he has it. He's the most powerful. He was the biggest threat to the Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z.
Practically Broly actually anti-meta. Practically the only character who can zone. And there's some shit that no other character can have him. But then you have to work for his damage. Except that you are the biggest character in the game. Practically being Fuzzy.
Oh, Fuzzies. Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel bad for tall characters in Dragon Ball Fighters.
Character for example, Nappa, Broly, Cooler, Gogeta, Android 21. Oh my god. Even though Broly is top in the food chain in terms of A tier, but then there's some setup that can only work on him. Some combo can only work on him. So that's why for a lot of Broly main in the beginning, it's kind of discouraging to main him.
Especially because it feels similar to the way that Tager was brought about. Because Tager, initially when you first played against it, I mean they improved upon it over time, but the hitbox is still slightly there. But Tager could get fuzzied for days, and combos that usually you can only get 2 hits in the air, then jump cancel, you could get at least 3.
The problem is that Tager take less damage compared to Broly. Broly has to take the same damage
that everybody else takes.
The problem is that there's some motherfucker who's so small but deals so insane amount of damage. Guess who? GT Goku and Kid Buu.
Oh, GT Goku, my guy.
GT Goku, that motherfucker, he even fucking smaller than Krillin.
He's smaller than Gotenks.
But even Krillin had smaller hitbox than Gotenks. And he even had smaller hitbox than freaking Krillin. And that shit, some combo doesn't work on him.
Overall, in terms of all the negatives and looking at the positives, what do you think weighs more, the positives or the negatives of the game?
The positive way more, but there's some negative, especially raw super dash and raw attack. I want them to fix the start up of that shit at neutral, because it's still way too quick. In online environment, oh yeah, the netcode too. Oh my god, with delay you cannot even time your down heavy correctly at all. And then some super dash is still the essential tool at neutral for the pro player. Unless you're Broly and then you got armor and shit, then you can get through that. But other character, it doesn't have that luxury. Please, fix the super dash. That super dash annoyed the hell out of me. Because the raw super dash can go through some of the regular projectile, and then sometimes it's impossible to react to it.
Overall, how would you rate the game out of 10? In terms of thinking about the positive and the negative?
Yeah, I will say that the game's still 9 out of 10, but then I'm thinking critically it's only 8. increase the damage across the board.
Just a little more, just so that way the match goes a little quicker.
Because the match in Dragon Ball FighterZ took way too long. Back in the beta, the damage is still massive, especially raw level 3. Like raw level 3 used to be like in the beta used to be like 50% just raw.
I'm guessing it was made to be like more of a thrill seeker, and that way you had like more time to like really think out the game. But it becomes to the point where the game has like over 299 seconds. In terms of all that stuff, what things do you think could be improved upon if they can be?
First of all, it's push block. Reflect doesn't make it at all. Maybe include instant block. Remember instant block in BB Tech or in Guilty Gear?
Oh, when you push them off you.
No. When you guard immediately, the moment when it just strike you, like you do not receive the blowback. Or you want push block from Marvel.
The push block from Marvel or Eunice would work out really good.
Yeah, I want the push block because like once you get into a corner and people coexist on wake up, you're pretty much stuck there.
I think they should have regular push block where you go further out, because if you had Eunice push block, you could still jump in.
Or remember BB Tech push block. Have that shit too.
Yeah, that's practically full screen push block.
Yeah, just have some cap defense because like right now in the current meta of the game,
you're in block strings, like Low Tier God said, strings.
Aside from push block, also nerf raw attack. It's way too good.
Not to mention, I think what they should also do for sure is instead of putting all the good stuff in neutral, put it in special combos. Because that's unfair. It really is unfair knowing that all the good stuff is in neutral.
Also, stop the autocorrect of the auto combo. I don't like that. Let me ask you guys, how many times you got anti-air by freaking Teen Gohan or freaking Vegito auto combo and shit? Because
and it auto tracks.
This autocorrect, that shit is just so annoying. You make your effort, jump over them, and then that shit just autocorrect immediately. Remember Vanilla Dante when he fucking autocorrect with his $1 million?
The guns?
Yeah, $1 million super. It's autocorrect in Vanilla of Marvel Infinite.
Oh, in Infinite, yeah. In 3, if you whiffed it, it hit that same thing.
No. In Infinite, hey, oh, you jump over me? I just do the super and then autocorrect immediately from his behind.
Yeah, that's stupid. But all in all, is that your analysis of fighters for now?
Yeah, right now I like the game, but then also nerf and snapback.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like basically, like a Marvel 3 snapback.
Yeah, even worse now because of there's some new setup for snapback. Back in the day, they nerfed the snapback a little bit because like Piccolo and Goten calling the ghost, and then the Hellzone grenade that was way too strong. They nerfed that shit, but then people still try to find a way to do the snapback mix-up. So the snapback is way too strong, man.
All right, moving on from fighters, though, we're going to the main event. The one that we've been waiting for the longest time ever. And you especially, because you're a very big fan. Guilty Gear 2020.
Yeah, I started playing Guilty Gear back when X2 Midnight Carnival. And I freaking love the way the gameplay, and then the story mode had me hooked too, because like that's like the first time we play extensive story mode. For example, like the visual novel stuff, and then the special intro post. Back in the day, you guys, that when you play story mode, they actually have exclusive intro posts. And then some battle, you are allowed to use the boss version of that character. It was so cool back in the day.
It's also one of those games where it looks serious, but it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
Yeah, like when you look at like Faust, Zappa, and Bridges.
In the first game, I'd say it was a bit serious, but it's like after the first game, it's like it wasn't as serious after that. Like the Faust was initially like a serial killer doctor after his patient died under his care. But then, someone killed his patient, and then he went on a whole serial killer rage. He disappeared and became the wacky ass Faust, and one of my main too. Like, oh my god, it's so much fun when you're messing people with Faust. Even the story, like you'd think Soul Bad Guy as this like really hunky, like big badass guy. No, the guy is actually just a dipshit. I love how in XR we find out that Kai is actually Soul.
Spoiler alert, guys.
I mean, the game's been out for like 4 years ago, so it's not a spoiler anymore. Yeah. But basically, Soul is apparently Kai's dad.
Yeah, daddy.
that would make him his like father-in-law, because Dizzy is Soul's daughter.
Yeah, and then I'm so gonna make a freaking 22 jump streak with that shit, dude. So my guy's gonna be the ice cool of this game. I'm telling you.
He fucked the chief's daughter.
New UT gear. It's actually very interesting that they still keep some of the core mechanic in the game, but
that's kind of upsetting to me.
oh yeah, maybe there will be
auto combo, but
combo?
I doubt they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do stylish and
then
technical
romance
again.
cancel inside there. Oh man, you have problem with that mechanic for so many years.
I've had a problem with Roman or romance.
Oh, romance cancel, the romantic shit.
Oh, romance cancel, dude! I have never in my life hated something more than romance cancel.
Oh, at least you didn't live in the day when I played the old GT where you have to FRC. Force romance cancel, where some specific move that only costs you like 25% of the meter in order to cancel the move. Okay?
Speaking of burst, there's a new burst mechanic in this game.
I heard that is a psychic burst. That burst is practically like if you read your opponent trying to burst, you burst. That's practically like I heard that is acting like a counter breaker. In Killer Instinct, like you try to combo break with that guy, know that you try to combo break and counter breaker, yeah, you asked it.
One of the main things that I'm really hoping for is that because it's still possible that auto combo could be a thing, but if it does happen to be a thing and it's only in stylish,
make it just like BB Tag, or make it just like Persona 4 Arena or Chaos Code, or
no. If anything, if you're gonna make it like stylish, give it the Eunice treatment or Melty Blood treatment.
Eunice, just like you press AAA all the time. That's the only auto combo you're gonna get. Okay.
There is a auto combo for medium, but it's very short and brief. But here's the thing: I think Melty Blood and Eunice would be very good stylish components. Reason why is that for the very longest time, Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, well, Guilty Gear's only done it for like one game for XR, but Blaze Blue has been notorious since Continuum Shift, where if you played on anything other than technical, you were gonna get dicked. Like you didn't have a burst on Continuum Shift when you played stylish. You do in the rest of the other games, but you get less damage and you take more. You do less damage, but the damage you take is way worse.
That's why also something I hope hopefully is some of the old casts gonna come back. For example, my main Order Soul. I used to main Order Soul back in Accent Core Plus and Accent Core Plus R, and I enjoy that character greatly more than regular Soul. It's just that his core mechanic was just so much fun, and he's way more rushed down. Hell, I need to tell you guys that even I'm not really specialized in any type of character. If I click with that character, I can handle it. For example, I really click with Tiger in BB Tech, but hey, Order Soul in Guilty Gear is my main. Or Faust is a wacky ass tricky type. It's like, oh my god, I'm not stick to the certain archetype of the fighters. I could go someone who's more convenient or more like hit home with me as a character I like. I'm not really good at set play, but then I love Testament. I play him from time to time. Bring back Order Soul and Testament. That's okay, please. Give me back Order Soul.
Guilty Gear is very good with variation. You like heavy characters? We've got a heavy character in Potemkin. You like characters who are you like a charge character? They have a charge character. You like playing characters who are good at set play? You've got set play.
You got Fussy character? Johnny.
You've got characters who hit at range but are really good at rushdown? You've got that. You want a brawler? We got Mai. Oh no, we got Jam.
Or you want a brawler, semi midstream or rushdown? You got May. May hit hard, dude.
May hits like a truck for how small she is. Her whale does like how much damage?
On counter hits is almost 50%.
You want someone who's like a really big, like menacing rushdown character? Slayer.
Actually, he's more of a counter hit type.
But he's very rushdown heavy though.
Yeah, but like he usually hit baiting you into making mistake. So like if he got one counter hit on you, oh my god, say goodbye to 75%.
Oh dude, I'm really gonna enjoy what Slayer looks like in the new game.
The problem is that he's a Link combo character. He's not a Gatling character.
Like his combos are short, but they do the job.
Practically, like anybody who plays Shredder 4 usually plays Slayer because it's a one link frame combo for him, or come from Guilty Gear XR.
His combos are not long, but they do the damage.
Oh my god. You don't want to do back in the day when Ascent Core Plus, when Slayer can practically catch you with 50% meterless, or some character have low defense, it's actually 80%.
If they're gonna do this, like stylish and technical, make it so when you do stylish, at least give the player a chance. Like, they've never done that. Team Red, like when they did XR, they practically bullied people who played stylish. There was no burst. I think Roman cancel was very limited. Romance cancel. And Blaze Blue, they did not like stylish players. If you're gonna make it like anything, make it like Melty Blood. But if you're gonna bring in mechanics, bring in like the Melty Blood mechanics in the sense that in Melty Blood there's full moon style, crescent moon style, and half moon style. Depending on each style you used, there's different move sets that you can use.
Some style have simpler control, so yeah.
But the damage output did not change when you changed styles. It changed some of the moves you were allowed to use. Like, say if you wanted to use a projectile move in a certain input, if you used a different style, it would be in a different special input.
I'm hoping that they're gonna fix the UI for the new Guilty Gear, because from what I'm seeing is that I hope they say this type of placeholder is actually true. I trust Team Red for that because I'm not trusting Team Blue at all. But please, for the love of God, change the UI. Character select look like a mobile game.
All in all, like, I feel like Team Red will pull through. I feel like right now, at the moment, because the game looks like it had a big budget.
Yeah, it looked like they have more budget, and then they can do more crazy shit. I heard that also they allow you to air block with a flawless defense now, and it is a good thing that certify that shit. It's not like making it way too simple. For example, like Fighter Z. Fighter Z is just like way too simple and way too insane. Okay, like they practically skip the freaking neutral and go to the rush down oriented.
For me, someone who likes playing auto combo games, I feel like I specialize more in auto combo. You specialize in a lot of technical aspects. Now, for you specialize in either or. But how do you feel about auto combo as a whole in fighting games?
I think it would be good something, but it would be bad in other aspects. For example, like if it was implement, like for example BB Tech and Fighter Z, then I'm okay with the new player trying to get mileage out of that. But with the actual good player, oh my god, they're gonna give those players like the entire arsenal that they could abuse like there's no tomorrow. Case in point, look at Team Gohan and Vegito auto combo. Team Gohan is actually a freaking easy anti-air without a DP. Oh, by the way, he had DP, so never mind. But then that's just way too easy to convert into a combo and give you a freaking slide knockdown immediately. Vegito as well. Easy slide knockdown because like that freaking Chun-Li leg over there is just like, oh no, you ain't gonna, you have to block, buddy. You don't want to do the freaking mistakenly press a lie and then you're getting hit by that shit.
Looking at it objectively, or subjectively, do you enjoy it or do you hate it?
Sometimes I enjoy it, but sometimes I'm getting annoyed.
All right, now looking at it objectively, what do you think can be improved? Like, what do you personally feel can be improved from your own analysis?
Combo should not be either auto correct or should not be start at neutral at all. Like you whiff the combo, it's just like it's still freaking going. I'm okay, but if they make it like Persona 4 Arena, Eunice, or BB Tech, but like not insane like BB Tech, but like only Persona 4 and then even Marvel. I hate to say that, but even Marvel Infinite. Like the auto combo only initiate when it's only the light combo.
It's okay to have auto combo as long as it's regulated properly, and as long as like there's a management between like it pertains to veteran players, but it also allows new players to actually get the feel for the game. Because for me, games that are technical, though I do like playing some of them, it's sometimes for a guy like me.
Because like I saw some of the stuff in Blaze Blue, like there's insane amount of command normal. Like in Eunice, one time I tried to practice a Phonon combo, like the homogeneous input between like down, like 2C and then 3C. It just sometimes it trigger like the 3C first and then you got 2C later. It was like, oh my god.
Not to mention like the input execution was like unfair and inconsistent. I feel like if we're gonna do anything, get the input execution like Blaze Blue, get the command list like Under Night and have the feel for like Dragon Ball Fighters, where it's like you still have a chance.
Just less about command normal, because BlazBlue did really make you like, no, those command normal is bad bullshit. At least do it like Guilty Gear, where the command normal is actually regulated. It's not too much. It's only a few moves that got the command normal.
For someone who's played at Guilty Gear for as long as you have, how hype is this game? And how many people are dying to see this game played?
Oh my god. Like a bunch of fighting game guys just like, god damn it, man. I want to touch this game immediately right now. I want to do some insane shit. And to see if the mechanic allow me to do the crazy shit back in the X2 era or not. Because back in the X2 era for some X and Core Plus, they have some crazy shit like EX, like Force Break. Force Break practically EX move, but sometimes they have exclusive move for 25, just for 25%. And that shit sometimes insane. Like for example, like the Fafnir from Other Soul is just like low invulnerability and freaking punish the ass low. It's like, oh my god, that move was just so satisfying when you punish somebody who loves to do low on reaction. Also, I really want the EX variation. Oh, you didn't know that back in the day, the variation system is actually not from Mortal Kombat, but it actually came from Guilty Gear. Starting from X2, they're starting to implement the EX variation. That practically change the entire, a little bit, but like 80% of the moveset, how you execute the special move, or how it behaves, or they got new super move. Or they got new move, they got entirely new move for some reason.
And extra damage, like, fuck me, is it high?
Oh, it's like, from, you compare normal Slayer to EX Slayer?
EX Slayer takes 90%. It's like Samurai Showdown damage.
Oh my, I was like, dude, that freaking Rhaegar was so good. Like, you can practically, either you want to fake that shit, or you want to do anything that you wanted to do with that Rhaegar, or maybe Testament. Testament is like, he got some restriction, but then the other is like, he fucking neutral heavy slash was like, you can convert that shit into anything, either from curse, super, or a grave digger loop. Oh, that grave digger loop on that shit was so good with the freaking wall bows.
Now, to finish off this entire podcast, I left this at the very end on purpose because I wanted to get your thoughts on the new patch that's going to come to BlazBlue Crosstag. Now, 2.0 is on its way, 21st of November, all the way to the 26th. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get a new patch of characters. We're gonna get 9 new characters. We're gonna get Akatsuki from Akatsuki Blitzkampf. We're gonna get Blitztank from Akatsuki Blitzkampf. We're gonna get for Persona. We're gonna get Adachi, and we're gonna get Elizabeth. For BlazBlue, we're gonna get Silica and Susanoo. And then for Senran Kagura, we're gonna get Yumi. For Ruby, we're gonna get Neapolitan. And I believe I'm missing somebody else. Oh, and for Under Night, we have Hilda. What are you looking forward to the most? And what are you dreading the most in this new patch?
I'm thinking that the thing is that I love offensive burst. That practically prevent the burst happy people just to like, hey, I touched you just the first 2-bit hit, and then they just burst immediately. It was like, oh my god.
We have a new defensive option against entry.
I guess entry also delay entry too. I love delay. I kind of like delay entry because like it can mess up the timing with the sandwich. Because like, dude, getting sandwich in BB tag is not fun.
Especially, I think if you're gonna have delay entry, you need to regulate it so the max you can have is 3 seconds. And especially, you know how Yosuke's entry is not the typical one where it's like, oh, you go vertically.
Sometimes they come from
straight down. I feel like if you're gonna delay entry, make it so you come straight down. Because more often than not, you're just gonna get hit on entry, and if you don't resonance blaze, well, you're screwed. And
then I still remember that the tech from Tager when he backdash on the fucking entry.
Actually, you know what I would love for delay entry? When you delay it, you come in from the corner.
Yeah, I really want that shit too. But the problem is that it could be abusable. Remember Marvel Free? It's not even a entry, it's just a regular entry, and then when you jump in, you get guarantee getting fuzzy. You guarantee getting mixed up.
Yeah, that's the thing that I really didn't like about BlazBlue. If you're smart enough to punish that, you can practically kill the incoming character by the time they land. And it's so unfair for someone like me who loves playing the game. I love the game to death.
But then hey, can I play the game please sometime? Because I guess pro player, they won't let you play the game.
They'll just keep you in a block string, and even if you resonance plays,
even if you try to DP, they're gonna pay that shit.
Yeah, there's no point in it. Like, it's just unfair. But other than that,
the bad thing right now is that Hilda.
It's gonna be the Hilda game. It's like the meta is changing from range characters to zoners.
From what I can see, and then the testing stuff is like, what the hell are they thinking when they're making Hilda stuff way too, like the freaking gravity squeeze shit.
That is a very intense super. Like, imagine if you press a button, DP, or even
if you're Batista, you're trying to grow a ball, and she's just like, you know what, fuck it, gravity squeeze.
And as far as I can tell, it's full screen.
That's why I tell you, gravity squeeze from Magneto is practically like, hey, I can punish you anywhere, whatever I want. Even if your ass cross me up, I can still punish your ass.
Not to mention, she's the only character who's gonna have the least punish. She's gonna have the DP that nobody can punish.
DP up to heaven, baby.
Unless you're probably Neo, but chances are, like, brawlers just are not gonna catch a break.
Right now in this game, she got melee option. Back in Eunice, she doesn't have that. So when you get inside her, she's finished.
Dude, I don't know who in their right mind thought it was a good idea to take Hilda's. For those who are watching, if you guys don't know, like, Under Night, let me give you some context. Her light moves hit further than her, so they're not going to be closely condensed to her body. They're not going to hit right there. They hit further out. If you jump in quick enough, you can punish that, and she has no defensive options. But in this game, they took her light moves and condensed them closer to her body, so she's not gonna be jumping. You're not gonna jump in as well anymore.
Hell no! You want to jump in Hilda? Oh yeah, good luck.
Oh yeah. By the way, I mentioned her DP. Her DP can reach the fucking heavens. If it can practically full screen. And if you think you're gonna punish it, nah. The active frame is from what I can see, the active frame's kind of long. Not to mention, it doesn't look like she has a lot of recovery.
Also, some of her special attack, you ass.
Yeah, it's unfair. And not to mention, who in their right mind thought it was a good idea to make Hilda able to go from say she's on the left side of the screen, and you're all the way on the right side of the screen. If she wanted to, she could spend a bar and hit you from behind. And you can't, and you won't be able to tell because the animations are weird with Hilda. Hilda's animations are weird.
That means that right now, just like in Eunice, a lot of people jump online is gonna get the taste of Hilda. Honestly, I don't. Please regulate her somehow, because I'm gonna judge her when she come out and to see if she's viral. If not, I'm just gonna ban her.
She already looks like a bannable character.
It's just like when it's just like you play against a fucking SNK boss.
Because, and especially this also makes it so that the matchups are gonna be way worse. For all we know, this could be wrong when the patch comes out. And we could be very much wrong when we start playing it. But at the moment, it doesn't look good for brawlers, mid-range characters, or long-range characters. Like, it looks like Hilda's gonna... And not to mention, Hilda, her damage is not that great, but it's pretty sufficient. And we haven't even seen her assist yet. How good is she on assist?
It's just like when she got you a knockdown, she's gonna call one of her special for a sword ring and shit, and then you're gonna block it. You cannot DP that shit, okay? Because that practically is set like a character.
At this point, it's like it's the Hilda game, and I'm very upset because all the new characters look so great. Adachi's the only one who has full screen stuff that looks fair, but Neo looks great. Susanoo looks great. Akatsuki, though it was kind of underwhelming in the release, he looks great. But my biggest concern is that with this new patch, there's no point. There's no point in any of the brawlers. I feel like Hilda is going to be the most viable character in the entire game.
And then you heard that Yuzu going to get her ass nerfed. And then Hilda used to be one of the worst matchup for Yuzu.
It came at the worst time.
Just like, okay, I could just fight you with a buff Yuzu, but no. Your ass got nerfed. Now you have to deal with Hilda.
I like to play honestly, but at the same time, you gotta get a win however you can. But there are times where even morals come into play, and I think this is just too unfair. And Hilda in Under Night, at least you could jump in on her. Like, I've seen Akatsuki players beat her, and I've seen players who play.
That's why she's low tier in Eunice, because like some of her shit doesn't hit close.
She's S tier, but she's like the worst S tier.
Actually, she's low tier.
Hilda?
Yeah, Hilda is really damn low tier. If you look at the rating, she actually like what C tier.
I've even seen Enkidu players bully Hilda.
Yeah, it's just like once Enkidu in the range of his favorite shit, then your ass is crowded. This is how we anticipate for the patch. Let's just hope that Hilda wasn't as crazy as we think she would be, to be honest.
And not to mention, please, for the love of God, Team Blue or Arc System, whoever is like implementing these rules, if you're going to make this game the way it is, at least make it so other characters have a chance. Because as it stands, Akihiko was the only brawler, apart from Yang, who had a chance against range characters. It looks like it's going to be the Hilda game. And it looks like zoning is going to be the best tool in the game. And I am not looking forward to that.
It's like BB Tech was like the extreme of zoning shit. And then Dragon Ball FighterZ is the extreme of Rushdown.
It feels like it's going to be the melee of fighting games.
I don't know, man.
I don't like this. I really don't.
Melee is kind of not inside with a freaking road range.
I know, but it's gonna get like the same thing. What I'm trying to say is like it's gonna feel similar to the way that Melee. You know, like there was only like there's a whole roster like 20 plus characters, but only 5 were used commonly.
Oh man, have you seen Dragon Ball FighterZ when a bunch of them are either Kid Buu, GT Goku, Bardock, and then Teen Gohan, Adult Gohan, and bullshit like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like balanced right now. It feels like right now, BlazBlue just does not feel balanced. The only balanced characters I really see in this entire game are A, Tager, B, Hakumen, C, Hyde.
Surprisingly, for a top tier, Hyde really balanced.
This month is going to be a very good month. I feel with this event coming around, Arcevo came at one of the best times, and the patch for cross tag has been awaited for like the very longest time. Mm-hmm. And all in all, I'm very happy that we're gonna get my boy Akatsuki in the game, because Akatsuki is one of my favorite players. And
say with me, chat.
Bitatsu
alive.
Bitatsu God is now here, and the funny thing is that we're excited because our favorite German boy is finally in the game. We're finally gonna get Chesto back in the game. Let's go!
Can't wait for host Matt plus chat Akatsuki.
I really am excited to be able to play as Susanoo and just ride into battle with Blitztank.
How many mean with that fucking Blitztank again?
Dude, Blitztank is an actual like.
He's actually a mascot for Akatsuki BlizzCon.
He's the mascot, but he's a playable character. What the fuck? Well, all in all, thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. It's been a really fun one. Thank you, Zhao Yun, for joining me.
Okay, see you later, guys.
With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.